Hi, this is Mike again. Today I wanted to talk to you about a major problem we have in our election system. In the freest nation in the world, our system of government and our very liberty depend on free and fair elections. Whether they're selecting a mayor or the President of the United States, every American must be able to trust the process or the democratic system itself breaks down. When someone commits voter fraud, the process is no longer fair. Everyone's vote gets diluted and in some cases election results are changed. Contrary to the claims of many on the left, voter fraud is a very real problem. As the Supreme Court noted when it upheld Indiana's voter ID law, flagrant examples of voter fraud have been documented throughout this nation's history. The National Commission on Federal Election Reform has said that in many close elections, fraud can absolutely change the outcome. Cases of local elections getting overturned because of fraud have occurred in New Jersey, Indiana, and many other states. Although the voter fraud database of several organizations has detailed cases of hundreds of people who've been convicted in recent years, the fact is voter fraud often goes undetected. And even when it's discovered, overburdened prosecutors rarely prioritize these cases. Fraudsters can steal votes and change election outcomes in several ways, including voting in someone else's name, registering in multiple locations to vote multiple times in the same election, voting even though they're not eligible because they're felons or they're non-citizens, or paying or intimidating people to vote for certain candidates. Unfortunately, many on the left are attempting to make election fraud easier by fighting laws that require an ID to vote. They've pushed to get non-citizens and jailed inmates to vote, and they've sued states that have tried to purge their voter rolls of people registered in multiple states. How can we fix the problem? Well, since states control much of the electoral process, they must pass laws requiring government-issued IDs to vote. That ensures people aren't stealing others' identities and their right to vote. States also should join voter registration cross-check programs to identify voters registered in multiple places. One cross-check program has identified hundreds of thousands of potential duplicate registrations across 30 states, as well as evidence of illegal double voting. States should also compare voter rolls with government records to identify convicted felons and non-citizens who should be removed from the rolls. And the federal government should cooperate with these efforts and make the Department of Homeland Security and other databases available to state officials. Preserving this great experiment that is America depends on having free and fair elections where all Americans can trust the process and the results. Something as critical as election integrity can't be left to a simple honor system. One of the most important roles of government is to safeguard the electoral process and ensure that every voter's right to cast a ballot is protected. That not only protects our right to vote, but that's also how we protect the future of our very republic. Electoral integrity and voter participation are enhanced by ensuring that everyone with a legal right to vote is able to do so, protecting such critical election infrastructure as storage facilities, polling places, and centralized vote tabulation locations, and safeguarding such information and communications technology as voter registration databases, voting machines, and other electoral management systems. Some of the relevant issues include the following. First, prevent foreign intervention and technology utilization in our elections. In 2016, Russian government-affiliated cyber actors conducted operations to identify vulnerabilities in U.S. voting infrastructure in all 50 states and undertook cyber operations to inflame societal divisions and undermine confidence in our democracy. Although there is no evidence that individual votes were changed in the last presidential election, this conceivably could happen in a future election, which would lead to chaos on election day. New technologies such as deep fakes could further roil elections in the future. Secondly, develop better rules, processes, and locations for voting in national and local elections. Voter participation is impacted by decisions made by states and localities. States have the primary responsibility for conducting elections, and there is great variation in the types of voting laws enacted. Some states, for example, have implemented automatic voter registration and vote by mail to increase participation. To protect against voter fraud, many states have passed laws on voter identification and voter database purging. Localities manage elections with limited resources, especially in rural areas. Practical local decisions about where to put polling places can impact participation. Decisions about laws, regulations, and polling locations must be made and implemented in a fair and equitable manner to ensure that all citizens have equal access to the ballot box. Third, prevent gerrymandering of voting districts by one political party. With both chambers of most state legislatures now controlled by one political party, the creation of gerrymandered districts to maintain that party's dominance has become more common. In response, some states have passed citizen initiatives to create independent commissions for the drawing of districts. Fourth, we need to encourage better voter participation in our elections. Voter turnout and trust in the political process continue to be below, as is an understanding of how the electoral process works. In a typical presidential election year, for example, no more than 60% of the voting-eligible population chooses to participate. Only about 40% voted during the midterms. And turnout in local elections tends to be even lower than in federal and statewide elections. The U.S. election system is highly decentralized. Public agencies and administrators have critical roles to play in ensuring fair and safe elections. In most cases, the nation's counties are responsible for actually running our elections. Decentralization and lack of standardization create a number of challenges, but this structure can be a strength from a security perspective. Election integrity is a bigger issue than our media and the public realize. Voters are losing their faith in our election system. When the public no longer trusts the election system, we are no different than a banana republic. Unfortunately, the trust in our election system is getting worse, not better. It is time for the public to demand our elected leaders to put more teeth and controls in our system so we can trust the election results. To study more about the events that are occurring today, watch some of our other videos. Nehemiah Reset's mission is to assist Christians in developing a biblical worldview as it pertains to relevant cultural and biblical issues. We seek to inform Christ's followers, equip them, and mobilize them into action to vote for their biblical values and to actively engage the culture. We are also committed to help Christians and non-believers develop a better biblical view. Nehemiah Reset produces videos and ebooks to assist members of the church in developing a biblical worldview when it comes to cultural issues. We produce videos on key topics like public school indoctrination, the woke agenda, sex education, equity and inclusion, climate change, immigration, religious freedom, and much, much more. To learn more about Nehemiah Reset or to watch some of our videos about the culture and to build your biblical worldview, go to our website at nehemiahreset.org or our Rumble.com channel. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Thank you for watching this video from Nehemiah Reset. We hope you found it informative and helpful.
Thank you for watching this video from Nehemiah Reset. We hope you found it informative and helpful. Our mission is to assist Christians in developing a biblical worldview as it pertains to relevant cultural issues. We seek to inform Christ's followers, equip them, and mobilize them into action to vote for their biblical values and to actively engage the culture. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our Rumble, YouTube and Facebook channels. You can also visit our website at nehemiahreset.org to learn more about our vision, our resources, and our upcoming events. Thank you for your support and God bless you.